Texas Congressman Dan Crenshaw was once seen a rising star of the GOP, but to many Republicans, he's something else entirely, a RINO. He's now mocked as Eye Patch McCain and called a globalist by his own base.
Eye Patch McCain, you're a RINO, you're a globalist!
It all started in 2020. As President Trump challenged the results of the election, the Republican Party split into two camps, those who stood and fought and those who walked away. Dan Crenshaw didn't just walk away, he turned around and called it a lie. On his dying podcast, he mocked the idea of a stolen election.
It was always a lie. The whole thing was always a lie. And it was a lie meant to rile people up.
Then he went a step further, accusing fellow Republicans of lying to the base behind closed doors.
The promises you're making that you're gonna challenge the Electoral College and overturn the election, there's not even a process for you to do that. And I would tell that to people kind of behind closed doors. They're like, yeah, we know that. But we just, people just need their last hurrah. Like they just need to feel like we fought one last time.
As time went on, Crenshaw made his position even clearer. By 2022, he was labeling parts of his own party as the woke right, a jab at the populist wing that supported Trump.
If the first words out of their mouth, for instance, are RINO and establishment and globalist, you can rest assured they're not very thoughtful and they're probably about to lie to you. And so there's always that 10 to 20% that is desperate to be contrarian. Yes. So that's a key principle of the woke right.
But it wasn't just his words. Crenshaw's voting record told the same story. In 2021, he supported a vaccine tracking bill, one that most Republicans rejected over fears of government overreach. But Crenshaw didn't just vote for it. He attacked Republicans who voted no, calling them grifters and liars for raising concerns.
What you hear so often is not true. It's not true. We have grifters in our midst. Not here, not like in this room. That's not what I mean. I mean in the conservative movement. Lie after lie after lie.
And when it came to Ukraine, Crenshaw didn't hesitate. He backed every funding bill, praised endless military aid, and dismissed America First voices who said the U.S. should focus on its own border first. Then, in 2023, Republicans introduced a major border security bill. You'd think that a Texas congressman would support it, but Crenshaw didn't. Not because it was too soft, but because it didn't go after Mexican cartels the way he wanted. Rather than help his party score a win on its top issue, he demanded changes and stood in the way. And when tensions rose during the drawn-out Speaker of the House vote in 2023, Crenshaw's frustration boiled over. 20 conservatives were holding the line, demanding real change from leadership. But instead of respecting their position, Crenshaw ran to Fox and called them terrorists.
We just can't allow that to happen. That's why those of us are saying, like, look, you pushed us into this corner, so now we're saying we won't vote for anyone but McCarthy. That's why we're saying it, because we cannot let the terrorists win. That's basically what's happening.
Even Senator Ted Cruz said the language went too far, but by then, the message was clear. Crenshaw had more fire for his own party than for the Democrats. That was pretty bad, but what came next was way worse. Tucker Carlson, one of the most influential conservative voices, took aim at Crenshaw's foreign policy and dubbed him as Eye Patch McCain. Crenshaw fired back, calling Tucker a coward. But then came the hot mic moment. After a GB News interview, Crenshaw was caught saying, "If I ever meet Tucker, I'll kill him."
Have you ever met Tucker?
We've talked a lot. If I ever meet him, he's the worst person.
The outrage was immediate. Marjorie Taylor Greene demanded an explanation. Tucker invited Dan on the show to explain, but he never showed. But this was not new behavior. Crenshaw had a habit of insulting the grassroots of his party. He's called MAGA media grifters, dismissed conservative influencers as trolls, and mocked the base as conspiracy theorists. When Twitter users pointed out the FEC violations tied to his campaign, Crenshaw didn't offer a defense. Instead, he hurled insults. And then there's the money. Crenshaw has been active in the stock market, and not in a small way. His returns crushed the market, raising questions. When Jesse Waters of Fox exposed it, Crenshaw flipped out, yelling, "I don't have any money, that's bull."
This is one of those stupid things that I've been dragged through the mud on because Jesse Waters had basically insinuated that I was insider trading. What I vote for? Yeah, sure. Who cares? Who cares? Like it doesn't matter to me because I don't have any money to put in the stock market.
Then came the World Economic Forum. In 2019, Crenshaw was listed as a young global leader. He says he never signed up, but when your name is sitting next to Klaus Schwab's, Republican voters will take notice.